Hello again, everyone. We're in southern Idaho in the middle of a sugar beet country. And these sugar beets belong to Blake Mathews, along with a lot of other sugar beet fields in this territory. And also with us today is Jared Cook. Jared's with Rocky Mountain Ag and one of Blake's agronomic consultants representing the TPS Lab. And Blake, in the process of growing sugar beets throughout the season, there's probably a lot of stress. What are some of the stresses that hit a sugar beet field?
Well, I mean, you've got nutrient stress that happens all throughout the year as they're growing. They need different nutrients at different times. You've got heat stress, water stress. You know, the list is kind of limitless.
And as far as advising a client on managing stress, how does one manage stress in a major beet field operation?
Well, this year we kind of employed something new that came to us from Texas Plant and Soil Lab. It's part of the Ask the Plant program that Noel Garcia and Larry Zabilski have developed. And we're doing some different testing to identify some of the hormone levels within the plant that helps us understand what stress is going on.
Hormones such as what?
Oh, particularly the hormone we're looking at is proline.
Okay.
And I don't know all the details about it, Stu, but we've noticed that early on in the season, our hormone level, that proline level, starts a little bit low, and then as temperature rises, as the beet really starts to grow and develop rapidly, that proline level just continues to escalate. And so that allows us an opportunity to go in and use some remediation treatments to help keep that proline level in check.
So really, you want the proline level down because at the end of the season, when you're trying to really shut down the vegetation and start the sugar concentration, that's something that you want to have managed pretty well.
Absolutely. That's the lower we can keep the stress, the better off we're going to be, because then that means more sugar in the beet.
Now, you've done some beet weighing, and you've done that several times here recently over the last several weeks. What sort of changes have you seen here recently as far as reducing that vegetation and increasing that beet?
Well, and that's what we've seen the trend start to change over from the top increasing in weight to actually start reducing in weight, and then the beet itself beginning to bulk up. And so that with that stress management, we can kind of watch that and play in accordingly to where that cycle begins.
Now, we've been in some beet fields that you've had in the past, though the vegetation has been almost waist high. This is not barely knee high. So is that part of the management that you've been able to implement then?
Absolutely. You know, with TPSL, we've been able to kind of pay more attention to the nutrient and the timing, and so we don't have everything up front now. We're kind of spread out when the beet needs it, and so then we're not putting so much into the top. We're getting more into the beet and not having to try and pull it back out of the top.
And before we wrap up here, what's the rest of the season management going to look like? What do you kind of want to look at to see how you get that beet to have all the sugar it needs?
Well, with the Ask the Plant program, that allows us a 15 to 20 day forecasting period. And so right now, the forecast for the next 20 days is we need a little bit more potash, we need a little more boron, and we need some zinc. And so we'll be flying that ingredient tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. So we'll carry on with our plant sampling and see where it takes us.
We'll see how the results are.
After harvest, I had the opportunity to visit with Blake Mathews about the results.
You know, it turned out really well. We averaged across the farm right around 47 ton to the acre with 18.5% sugar. So it's by far the best year that we've ever had on our sugar beets.
Now, how does this compare to usual or what the local plant gets in? How is this better, I'm assuming?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think average on the factory right now is around probably 41 ton. And it's probably around 17.7 on the sugar, so quite a bit of an increase for the program we're running.
Now, what do you attribute that to? What sort of particular micronutrients, fertility program? What is really the cause and the basis for that?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily one nutrient per se, but just following the TPSL program. You know, we're literally micromanaging the plant. We're pulling samples every 2 weeks and getting a report card on how we're doing, and so then we can adjust and go where we need to go.
Now, those samples that you pulled every 2 weeks, what did they tell you this year? What did you have to respond with as far as intermittent applications of nutrients or foliar applications or whatever?
Well, part of the things we ran into this year, we trended a little low on the nitrates in a couple of the fields, and we were able to address that. And then our micronutrients were lacking, and so we ended up chasing those quite a bit during the year.
Now, those particular applications, I mean, you're investing money in that, but apparently that investment was well spent when you get 47 tons and 18% sugar.
Absolutely. You know, from last year, which was our best year to date yet, you know, we were able to increase the farm average by about 5 ton and increase our sugar percentage by about 0.5%. So it's been a win-win all the way around.
Thanks to Jared Cook of Rocky Mountain Ag and Blake Mathews. That's our report from southern Idaho in a great looking beet field. This is Stu Ellis. Thanks for watching.